Hey guys, it's Amanda with WonderwallCreations.net, coming to you today with another hack, a hacky craft, I guess I will say, for you guys regarding brush lettering. The other day I did a video about practicing and finding some practice sheets for brush lettering. I have those here, a little bit of my practice, so pardon my practice. I did buy myself a little brush pen the other day. Bought a Micron brush pen. I haven't quite made a decision about it yet, but so I've been practicing that. But while I was on Pinterest the other day, I'd found some really good ideas for hacking the brush lettering. And so I wanted to share that hack with you guys because I want to do all the things I can to show you guys how much simpler we can make things. And so I am going to show you guys today how we can hack a brush script. I've already actually done one for you. But I'm going to do another one. This is the one that I did the other day. Of course, this is me still learning, so this is just one that I happened to do using the hacking technique and thought it turned out pretty good. But I'm going to do another one for you guys today so that you can actually see it and see the process in action. So it's just my way of doing a little bit of a hack on a brush script font. So what I'm going to do for this is I have a piece of black poster board. I've just cut up a piece of scrap black poster board that I have here. And I am using these General's Pastel Chalk pencils. I found these on a whim and really liked them. I really like the chalkboard look right now. It's pretty popular, but this is just a pastel chalk pencil. I really like it because I can do a black background, get a white outline with a pencil. You could do the same technique with a regular pencil on a white piece of paper. It would totally be fine. I'm just using this white pencil today so I can on the black background. It'll show up really well. And I also wanted to just use my new pencils that I really like. Cool thing about these as well, just to give them a little bit more of a shout out, is that they are erasable. And so even though it's a chalk pastel chalk, it will erase. And so I probably will have to erase at some point in this tutorial, and you'll get to see how awesome it works. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to write out Wonderwall. Wonderwall is the word I just like to use, but you write out whatever words that you like to use. But we're going to write it out in just a simple line. That's what we're going to do. Like a cursive type line, just simple. So that's what we're going to do first. And then when we come back to it is when you'll really see the brush script techniques really kind of coming into play. So I'm just going through here. I try to make my everything pretty loose because of the next step of this process, and you'll see what that is in just a moment. I've really been playing around with this technique on a couple of different things, and I gotta say, the more I do it, the more I love it. So definitely give it a chance. These are letters that are pretty similar to the brush script hand lettering pages that I showed you guys in the tutorial the other day. Very similar in structure, so that's just something to keep in mind if you are not sure how to start these letters. These are pretty similar in structure to those. As you can see, I'm just kind of making all of my lines here, but I'm not doing anything real tight and really close together. So there we go, we have our Wonderwall. And so that's pretty awesome, love it. There we go, here it is. But in order to make the brush script font, we are going to go back in a second time and draw a second set of lines. And what we're doing there is what we are showing is what basically the heavier and the lighter lines that would come in if you were using a brush pen. So let me show you just what a brush pen looks like really quick if you're not familiar. This is the Pigma brush. Micron makes them. I love the Micron pens, but it's that archival ink. I really like them. They have really good colors. But a brush pen tip is going to look just like so. It just is like a pointy type tip. I'm hoping I'm showing you guys a good picture of it. I think I am. And so what happens is as you go down with the brush pen, you're going to have a heavier line, and then as you have an upstroke, it's going to be a lighter line. I'm still working on perfecting that technique, but that's what we have to keep in mind while we are doing this hack, is that a downstroke will be a heavier line and an upstroke will be a lighter line. So as you are looking at you're creating your second set of lines, you have to think about an upstroke, lighter, downstroke, heavier. And I'm going to actually say that as I'm going through here so you guys kind of get a picture for what it's going to be. So this is an upstroke, so I'm going to just draw a second line that's pretty light. I don't want to just keep it the single line that I have, just because I know that it wouldn't be that fine of a line with the brush pen, but then I'm coming in and it's got a heavy downstroke with a lighter upstroke, heavy downstroke again, lighter upstroke. And then here we go. This is where it really starts to take shape, is that heavy downstroke with a light upstroke. And then it would also have a heavy downstroke on that curly Q and that O. So a light upstroke, heavy downstroke, going up again, heavy as we go down. It is harder to kind of make that look that way on that end, but as you can see, you can go back in and draw a second line. It's not going to make any matter. Like I said, this is erasable, so if you wanted to do that, you could. Our D, we're going to start over here, and it actually has a downstroke pretty quickly, and then it goes up, and then a heavy downstroke again on the loop of our D. And I'm going to be filling this in with a white paint pen, so it's really okay if I have some overlapping of my lines. Light upstroke, heavy downstroke. Now the R is a little bit harder because this R does have a loop, so you're going to have to really think about it. So you're going to come up, and it's just like you're making another R, really, is what it's like. And on the outside of that, it would be a downstroke, so you're going to make sure that you make that heavy. And it's just about weaving those lines in and out and making sure that you have the heavy and the light. Is really what it's about. I've had a lot of fun with this. I'm actually trying to mock up some logos for my own, for Wonderwall Creation, for maybe some signs and things like that if I'm to go to craft shows. And I've actually been messing with this technique a little bit to do that. So L's are always fun because you have that light side and then you have that really heavy side, so those are fun. All right. So I've finished up. So as you can see, you can start to see what that outline of that Wonderwall is going to look like. But it really doesn't come to life and you don't really see it until you really start to put the paint in. So what I'm doing is I have a Molotow 127HS, One for All acrylic premium paint markers. These are the tops. Love them to death. The white marker is unlike any other white paint marker on the market. You have just really good paint flow. These are refillable paint, refillable nib, I guess replaceable nib, but they're just amazing. I actually have a tutorial on how to refill the marker if that's something that you're curious about. And I believe that I also have a video up about just showing why this white marker is superior and kind of placing it up head to head with some of the other white paint markers out there that are just not nearly, I think, as awesome. It's quick drying as well, which is always really nice if you have to go back in. So, you know, I shook it up a little bit. Here we go. We're going to go back in and we're going to be just marking through. I'm going to be painting in what I did with the pencil. Those pencils are pretty awesome, pretty cheap too. They come in a pack of 2. But I will say that if you see as I move across the page here, they do smudge a bit, which I think is fine if you're looking for a like chalkboard kind of look. But if you're not, they do smudge. However, that smudge, you could come back in and erase it. It's just about how much work you want to do. I just wanted to note that for you guys. I will say that this has been one of the hardest lettering fonts that I've had to work on, and it's really required a lot of practice. And if you remember Allen Iverson back in the day, not about practice, it's about the game. But for me, it's really about practice. It's about learning and doing these over and over again. There's lettering that I do all the time that I don't have to practice as much anymore. But then there is other times where, you know, I bring in a new font, like the brush script that I'm really working on, and it really requires me to go back and really practice quite a bit. So I spent much of the day yesterday working and practicing on different fonts and things. I guess I spent most of my working time yesterday on fonts and making sure that I'm on point with where I want to be with those. So as you can see, these letters are really starting to take shape because I'm going back in and painting in. I'm not spending a whole lot of time on this because this isn't for a project, but this is just to show you guys the hack. So sometimes I'm letting the chalk line stay on its own. One of the things I like about the Molotow is if you're lighter handed with it, you can make it almost look like chalk, which I think is pretty cool too. I have a sign that will probably be going up in my Etsy shop soon, in which I use the Molotow marker and a light hand to really go back in and make a really cool chalkboard kind of look. It's got a cool Julia Childs quote on it. So if that's something you're looking for, keep your eye up in the Etsy shop. It'll probably be going up soon is my guess. I need to take some pictures of it and then it should be going up. So as you guys can see, these lines are really kind of coming into play here, and they're taking form with the paint and really kind of starting to show that brush script kind of look. So really guys, this is it. This is all that it is to it. Don't overcomplicate it. Do practice it, but don't overcomplicate it. And so if you have any suggestions for me to help improve my brush technique, or if you have some brush pens that you'd like for me to take a look at, let me know. You can comment here. You can check us out over at wonderwallcreations.net. As always, finished products are available at our Etsy shop. Wonderwall Creations is our Etsy shop. And if you have ideas you want us to review, just let us know. Thanks so much, guys, and you guys have a great day.